Welcome to the Software People Stories. I'm Shiv.
I'm Chitra.
And I'm Gayatri.
We bring you interesting, untold stories of people
Associated with the creation
or consumption of software-based solutions.
You'll hear stories of what worked,
and sometimes what didn't,
you will also hear very personal experiences.
and insights that would trigger your thoughts
and inspire you to do even greater things.
Before we jump into today's conversation, a special thanks to PM Power Consulting for encouraging and supporting this show right from the start. With over 1,000 person years of collective experience, PM Power has helped many organizations, teams, and individuals chart out their own journeys of excellence and make progress. Thank you, PM Power. Now, let's move to today's episode.
I want to introduce Dr. Uma's podcast today. And it has been a very, very enriching conversation personally for me. I am a NIT Trichy graduate myself, and it helps me to understand the kind of journey that professors themselves go through to enable software engineers of tomorrow. She shares how she became a founding lecturer for a starting venture, and how that sort of helped her realize her passion to teaching, and later got her PhD through the encouragement of her fellow lecturers and the professors. And then she's slowly carved out a niche by doing more research. She's got like 14 odd researchers under her who have graduated doing a PhD. And she also covers how she's done a college warden and many administrative roles as well. But you can see the passion when she talks about students and how her 2-point assessment in terms of health as well as academics. And she covers the level of commitment she has for student well-being, and how they have to invest in themselves, how each of us have to invest in themselves. And when I heard the podcast, and I realized that the advice that Dr. G. Uma ma'am is giving is not only for a person who's studying. I also think it is also for each of us. Complete the work that you have in your hand. And once you take it to closure, then you can go the next step. And taking care of your health and well-being, including mental well-being, is very important. Listen on to Dr. Uma, Dean, Alumni Relations, and Dean and the Professor in Instrumentation and Control in NIT Trichy. Hi, Dr. Uma. So happy to have you here. Welcome to the Software People Stories.
Thank you. Thank you, Gayatri, for giving me this opportunity to talk to you for some time.
Yeah, and this gives me immense pleasure to invite you for the Software People Stories. Particularly being an alumni myself, I sort of have a little bit of digiters for interviewing a professor.
I think you can think that you're talking to another friend of yours, your senior of yours, because I'm also an alumni of this institute.
Yeah.
And to be frank, Gayatri, this is the first time I'm giving a podcast or an interview in online.
Okay.
Like all the interviews only in offline, which I have taken for my profession.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Excellent. I hope I will make your first experience very pleasant. And
yes, pleasant and best.
So, what we ask, ma'am, is I know you as a professor, a dean in NIT Trichy. How would you introduce yourself to our listeners, please?
I can introduce myself as Dr. Uma, Professor of Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering, having an academic career of around 27 years in NIT Trichy. Together with my academics, after taking up various administrative posts, presently I'm serving as one of the deans of the institute, taking care of institutional development and alumni relations, Where institutional development, I take care of all the international relations and focusing the institute to the outer world or to increase the perspective of the institute in the world scenario.
You're also working from branding and outreach events also.
Yes, outreach activities and branding. That is what increasing the perspective of the institute in the international level. So
Okay.
that's the meaning of institutional development, where I do international relations and also branding of institute in the international level.
Perfect, perfect. Ma'am, I want to start with a part where how did you get your career started? How has your career journey been? I want to understand, I know you have reached heights of your career, but I want to understand how has it been for you?
Yeah, I can say a few words about it. Say I got graduated from Government College of Technology, Coimbatore, and I completed in 89. And after my post-graduation, I could get an opportunity to do my research at IIT Madras. But always I'm so attached to my parents. So I've told them, I told them that I want to be with them wherever I go for education. So that was fulfilled till my PG. But when I joined for my PhD in IIT Madras, Daddy was not there. He got retired and he settled in Madurai. I had a tough time in adjusting myself in IIT Chennai hostel, because that was my first day in the hostel. So I could not continue. So I discontinued my course and I joined a private institution as a founder faculty. And it was started in a rural area with an aim to support candidates or students from rural area. It is a village near Arupakota. It is called Karyapatti, State Institute of Technology. So I joined there as, I think, first faculty for that institute and heading the Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering. And I got an opportunity to stay with my parents. And there, from the scratch, I developed the department, the institute, and really that gave me motivation to be a teacher. That has increased my passion for being a teacher, which was not there when I was doing my undergrad, but slowly got developed when I was doing my post-graduation, seeing my teachers, which normally happens to many people who do their undergrad in some government institutions and doing PG in a well-reputed institution.
True.
And after working there for 4 years, I don't know, I didn't have an interest of joining NIT Trichy then, but my dad was working in REC on deputation, and I had my initial school education from 1st to 7th staying in the campus. But I didn't have even a slightest thought of getting employment in NIT Trichy. But I think it was running in my mind of my dad, because my dad don't used to tell us that what we should do. He will leave us to our interest. But he was having that in his mind because he was here for more than 7 years. He did his MSc transportation here when he was working as an assistant registrar. He's also an alumni of our institute. So I think he might have had that interest, but he didn't tell me a word because he knows that I will not leave them and go. But he applied on his own, got my signature and learned. And normally I used to say that the people who are in government post are really blessed by God. So somehow I got an opportunity to work as lecturer in REC in 99. So 99 May I joined. The institute in which I was working, they were not ready to allow me to leave the institute. Still, the correspondent is in touch with me, and he is having of the opinion that at least some point of time I'll come back to him to work for his institute. Every month or every once in a month, he'll call me and he'll ask me, Mama, when are you going to come back? That is my position at NIT State Institute of Technology. And I joined here in 99 as lecturer in the Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering. I'm very happy and proud to be a Rectian and NITian, and because the work environment which was available in REC then was really wonderful. You will not believe, being a new faculty, joined after post-graduation, after 4 years of teaching experience, had given a lot of freedom to work, to pursue my interest in the research area in whichever I want. All the directors I should mention about Professor Umapati, who was my mentor, guide, and a senior faculty when I joined in the institute. I mean, senior to me for 2 years, but he was the real guide. And then director Dr. Aravindan, Dr. Arumugam sir, they gave us full freedom. So I started my career in 99, and 2001 I got an opportunity to do fellowship at IISc on thin film sensor technology for 6 months.
Very nice, very nice.
That gave me a starting point to work in a field called micro electromechanical system, MEMS. People might have heard about this. Now it's nothing but it is a part of semiconductor industry, but we do sensors and transducers in micro level.
Okay.
So that was very new to India then in 2000. So I got an opportunity to work in IISc. Principals then was encouraging me to introduce the course as an elective, thin film technology, MEMS as an elective course in NIT Trichy, and Dr. Arumugam sir and Professor Umapati supported me to start the MEMS Design Center in NIREC then in 2004. So we were the first institute in the South, other than IIT Madras and IISc, to have MEMS Design Center. And I really feel proud to be a part of a community in which even young teachers who enter into their institute have been given an opportunity to start it with a new area and explore the possibility of taking up the area to the next level. And we had a MEMS Design Center in our institute. And slowly in 2005 to 10, we had a director, and we have been converted into NIT Trichy in 2004. You must be knowing about it. So in 2005, Dr. Chidambaram joined with us.
Okay.
He was supporting us. He was supporting me and Professor Umapati to have a fabrication facility for MEMS. If it would have happened, really will be the first institute in India to have the fabrication facility for MEMS. But myself and Professor Umapati, we used to be very cautious in investing on equipments. Okay. And microfabrication is a very costlier entity, and it required skilled personnel to operate it. And from the literature, I could understand that setting up fabrication facility for micro devices in all the institutions will be difficult in day-to-day running and in day-to-day maintenance. So, and I look over the literature, I can understand that all MEMS fabrication was developed only in centralized area, in centralized institutions.
Okay.
People have design centers, and we'll go for fabrication to a common lab.
Okay.
So by then, the central government also started investing on MEMS. So there were 2 programs, National Program on Smart Materials, National Program on Micro and Smart Structures. Both the programs our institute was part of it. So fabrication facility was set up in IISc Bangalore and IIT Madras. So we started strengthening our design lab, and we could do a fabrication in IISc. And I'm very proud that I started my research after our institute got converted into NIT in 2005, completed my PhD in 2009. We have been given an opportunity. I think I
Excellent.
got my the degree in the first graduation of NIT Trichy.
Okay. Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I got my device fabricated in a commercial lab in France. But my first student in 2012, he joined with me. In 2016, we could fabricate a micro resonant pressure sensor, completely designed in our lab, fabricated in IISc and characterized. We have a product. It's a micro pressure sensor.
Okay.
Later, 2020, my another student worked on micro resonant based magnetic field sensor, and we could characterize it, fabricate and characterize it in IISc Bangalore. And this was my journey. And I was into research, into guiding PhD scholars together with my undergrad teaching after completing my PhD in 2009. And after a few years, like it is a very usual procedure in all the institutions and academic institutions that together with academics, we are supposed to take administrative post also. The first post I took was in 2010 to 12. I took as a ladies hostel warden. So
Oh,
from then,
wow. That must have been a difficult one.
that was a very difficult job. Till then, no lady faculty was ready to do that. Only Dr. Shiba, who was staying inside the hospital, was taking care of it. Again, no, to be, I'm very feel proud as to some extent. And also I want to mention about this, Gayatri. No post I have applied and everything, no administrative post. They used to call me and give. They'll request me to take up the post. So senior faculty know about me, know my dad, so know about my capability. So Professor Paldeshami of Civil Department called me and he said, you should take up the ladies hostel warden post. So I took up, and 2 years, it was a wonderful journey with our students. I enjoyed a lot. I got an opportunity to move with girls across department. I still have very good friends in across departments of that batch, 2 batches. They are still in touch with me. And in coming days, every post has come. I have been ICC presiding officer. I was taking care of hostel as chief warden for 4 years, and when Minimum was the head.
Okay.
And presently, I am Dean Alumni Relations and Institutional Development, as you know. I've given a very long story, Gayatri.
Oh, no.
I think you have a work to edit.
No problem at all. I think it's a wonderful story, ma'am. I have a couple of questions. I still can't say your name. I have to call you as ma'am, so please don't worry.
No, you please call me Uma, Gayatri. I don't mind, Gayatri.
All right.
I used to tell all my friends to call me as Uma, not as madam.
I think it's a student in me comes alive. So, couple of questions. What moved you to take PhD? Quite a few of our listeners, in fact, even within academics, out in industry as well, think of, should I go and do a PhD? And what does PhD do to your career? When I say do, I mean, what kind of platform does it give? I know I like to be referred as a doctor in front of my name. That's a given. But
Really,
what else does it do? I would like to understand.
yeah. No, actually, till today, I used to say that doctorate is not it should not be mandatory for teaching. To be a good teacher, we should have a flair for teaching, good communication, strong in basics. That's more than enough. So you will not believe, when I was in State Institute of Technology, that gave me the passion for teaching. I used to teach all the subjects, because you must be knowing, in self-financing institutions, they will not recruit more faculty. They'll try to use the faculty at most possible. So I used to teach engineering drawing, and 4 consecutive years when I was there, being an instrumentation graduate, used to teach all the 4 courses of instrumentation. Together with that, I used to teach engineering drawing, and my pass percentage will be more than 98%. Even mechanical faculty will be very, very hesitant to take that subject. So personally, I feel PhD should not be mandatory for teaching. But you have asked me a correct question. It was not out of my interest I have taken PhD, because I took it one in IIT Madras. I could not continue, and I joined at MTech in NIT Trichy. But when we got converted to NIT Trichy, research or PhD become mandatory for teachers. Then I got a good guide and mentor, Professor Umapati, and area to work on. So MEMS was flourishing in the late 1990s in India, even though it was introduced in earlier late 1970s, US, Japan, and other countries. It was flourishing in India. In late 1990s, it was flourishing in India. So I got an opportunity to do my initial research in thin film sensor, which is the first of its kind for MEMS. And I had an area, and I had a good mentor, and PhD became mandatory to be a teacher in NIT Trichy. So that is how I registered for my PhD. And I took around 4.5 years to complete. But even when I completed my PhD, Gayatri, to be frank, I didn't feel so proud, because people now they're thinking PhD is yet another degree, but it is not a degree, it's a philosophy. Still, I'm not satisfied with my degree, but I'm satisfied with my outcome for my students. My first student, Dr. Shivaraman, he's with NIT Roorkela. Really, only when he completes, I felt that I have done justification to my degree PhD, which is a philosophy, not a degree. In consecutive years, yesterday I had my 14th student PhD Viva was. Really, I felt happy that, okay, I have done something to my degree, which is a philosophy in research. 14 of them have been graduated under me, Gayatri. I did with compulsion, but now I'm very happy about it. Every one of them are placed very well.
Okay.
And I also see to them they are placed well. And I'm happy about it.
I mean, it's amazing to talk about. See, what happens is you're saying PhD actually catapults one's journey in terms of deeper understanding of the field, as well as you also get to, as a mentor and a sponsor,
Right.
you actually get to interact and experiment in different
Correct.
types of fields. I think
Correct.
one of the things that I sort of regret is being in the industry. While I did my MBA after in 2008 to 2010 as a part-time, I often wonder if I should have taken the MTech and proceeded with the process of doing PhD. I think I'll probably continue to think about doing this. I think I'm very inspired by much effort.
You still can do, Gayatri. You can still join with NITs or IITs. We have an option for external registration where your requirement of staying in the campus is very less, only 8 weeks. You still have an opportunity to do.
Okay.
But the other way, Gayatri, I used to think about you all. See, now people, they set the goal after we reach the post. So now in all education institutions, government is also focusing on innovation, entrepreneurship, startup, etc., etc. They are slowly forgetting about research publications, right? So now we have a startup of our own. Myself, Dr. Periyasamy and Dr. Umapati, we have a startup and we work on biomedical product development, but we are not able to success. So when I look into the success stories of people like you and our alumni, which I am going through now, I can understand that whoever have done MBA from any one of these IIM or who have done a financial course in any of the IIMs are flourishing or getting success in entrepreneurship venture. You will agree with me. Really, it is required. It's required.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking that why can't I do MBA? But I lost that interest. So I thought I should do something to the society. So now I am around 57. So in next 3 years, I'll quit and I've started doing something to the society. So we should do something. But the journey, what you have taken has brought you to this level. But we being a teacher, having a doctorate degree, but we are not able to be successful in entrepreneurship venture.
Entrepreneurship definitely, ma'am, needs a different, level of, I wouldn't say risk taking, but it's you have to keep on pivoting. You say, okay, I'll try this, and okay, if this is not working, how do I go to the next one, and also sort of develop a thicker skin to accept failures. See, we are not built for that. So at least when I was in NIT Trichy, honestly, ma'am, I used to always think at that point in time, it was out of 100. Anything above 85 is what success means. I mean, now if you look at it, like why? Getting a deeper understanding of DSP or any of these networking, aspects of it would have been a much better value of our time. But that I think I do feel that it's a matter of a timeline as to what it takes to help. And I also think as a country, we are not chasing behind the longer term aspects of it. Because research needs that long continuum and look at the bigger picture and work on that, on experiments. And also the environment also has to create more grants. For example, the research that you're talking about, biomedical and the MENS kind of a research. Men's research needs a lot of funding. So often that funding, many of the funding actually has to come from the government or such base where, because academia per se are very differently funded today. If you think
Correct.
about it, how NIT Trichy was funded. I know a little bit because when I was in Trichy, they saying lot of funding worked from the government, but a lot of it
Correct.
now has changed to part government, part
It has
students,
been changed, Gayatri.
and part alumni. So I think
Correct.
we also I often feel that I should, as alumni, also give back to
To the
the
institute.
institute to develop the future engineers.
Correct.
Ma'am, switching topics a little bit, talking about future engineers, how do you cultivate the motivation to learn, go deeper? Because I am certain that we are today in a very social media riddled environment. Please don't get me wrong when I say this. I'm sure there are, if all the students are studying, and my son is also a student in engineering college. Yeah.
Correct.
How do you keep them focused on something that is going to give them value maybe 5 years, 2 years down the line? Whereas instant gratification is there when I look at a meme or a Insta reel and stuff. How do you manage that?
Really, we are finding it very difficult, Gayatri. That is why I told you that I can withstand it for 3-4 more years. That was it's toughest job to keep the students focused. But thank God we are in NIT Trichy. Like we have around 50 to 60% of students, they know what to do. Very clear. They require little bit of guidance then and there to keep them on track. But in other institutions, in schools, really, the teacher's position is I will tell you, it's the toughest job now at present. Not only social media, not only mobile, or not only AI. The other things also is poking into it, drugs in different forms. So keeping them on track is very, very, very tough. But we are trying to do in some possible ways which we can do, Gayatri. As a teacher, even though I take any administrative post, I see to that I take class for first years and second years, especially second semester and third semester.
Okay.
I'll be with
Nice.
them. Whether they like or not, I'll be with them. And right from the beginning of my teaching career, I used to focus that I am on the level of their mother. So what do students require is, they require little bit of push from their side, because still I'm talking about only NITs or NIT students, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, they would have been under tremendous pressure, and parents, father and mother, will be behind them to push. But here, they'll not have anybody else to tell them what to do. So 2 things I used to tell them at the beginning of the class, and frequently I repeat, I'll ask them to do self-assessment of them on 4 aspects. One is academics, health, and they are only these 2. These 2 are very important. Rest is I'll not be very bothered about. One is academics and health. And I'll ask them to do self-assessment and ask them to submit it to me. And if I find it little difficult, I'll also discuss with them. Third thing I'll tell them is, other than making them to have critical thinking, developing their technical skills, leadership qualities, I'm telling you in general. Third thing I'll tell them is, do whatever you want, because they will have tremendous freedom or independence when they are into the campus. And we are, we have 100% residential campus, only 1 or 2 stays outside, and they feel that they are free from certain type. They can do whatever they wish. So I'll tell them one thing, do whatever you want to do. Enjoy. This is a period you can enjoy. But have a note of self-assessment in academics and health. Third is, whenever you start doing something which is not to be done, or which is not in the regular work to be done when you are in the campus, stop doing that for a minute. Think about the parents. Not only parents, your maternal, I used to say, enlight this, maternal, uncles, aunts, grandparents, their effect of whatever you're doing on here in the campus on them. And if you feel that it will make them happy, you do.
Yeah.
This has a very good effect, Gayatri. You will not believe. Many students, after they pass out, they'll come and tell me.
Yeah.
If they stop and think about their grandparents, because each one of us, whenever we get up in the early morning, the first thing what we come to us in our mind is about our children. They may not be thinking about us. They'll be sitting somewhere. They'll not even come back for 1.5 years or 2 years, but still only their welfare, their well-being, their health comes into our mind. So I'll tell them that, especially grandparents, they used to sit and dream about these people, all grandchildren. Even they would not have taken care of their children, but their grandchildren are very precious for them. I'll tell them this. So these are the 3 things which I'll tell them. Other than that, in the second semester itself, I'll catch hold of them. I make them to think about societal related problems. I feel after converting to NIT, we have freedom in evaluating the students. So 60% of marks, I give them. It's a branch specific course. So I give them for general. I'll ask them to go across, find some problems of society, write the problem statement first. Then they have to write at least 5 to 6 problem statements. Then I'll go through all and then I'll come out with good 10 problem statements. I'll ask them to come out for the solution.
Fantastic.
And if possible, first one batch, they demonstrated also. All the whole class demonstrated, but now I'm finding it very difficult for the students to make them to work in the second semester because they have a lot of pressure in clearing the induction for clubs. But at least I tell them to find out the solution for problem statement and submit that an assignment. I give them around 40% of marks only for that. And I give them presentation the second semester itself. Gayatri, you must be surprised, Gayatri. We are getting students, around 25% of students from rural areas, from government schools, and rural areas like Bihar, Jharkhand, Northeast. They are not even able to communicate well, not able to write sentences, 4 or 5 sentences. So I do 2 things. I make them to form a team presentation on any advanced topics on instrumentation because it's a branch specific course.
Correct.
I should understand what is the importance of my branch.
Mm.
So I sit for all the presentations. I give them feedback. It will be time consuming. I'm doing it for the past 3 years, but I'm thinking that this semester I'll be able to do or not. But I'm doing it for the past 3 semesters, 3 years. So that if one student is not good in communication, the other student who is in the team will help him to prepare. And presently they're using ChatGPT, but I'll tell them they're not supposed to use ChatGPT to prepare the PPT. Let it be your own. I give weightage for PPT, the way in which they prepare, etc. So this gives them 2 things. One is trying to focus themselves in their communication among their counterparts, trying to know each other. And it also creates some leadership quality if the student is good in communication. If the other students are not good, helping them.
Okay.
And I'm doing this, Gayatri, to some extent. And also in the branch specific course, I spent at least 4 hours on professional ethics. They have a course on professional ethics, but that is separate. I want them to be inducted in the second semester, first itself. So I have identified 3 PDFs which talks about the professional responsibility of engineers in the society, ethics of the engineers in society. I teach them. And this topic I give them across the students, and whoever is interested in, they'll prepare and come and present again, discuss about it. So these things I'm trying to do a little to shape our engineers. Our boys are coming to NIT Trichy to some extent. When they are doing, they may not like, but after 5-6 years, when they think about what we have been done in the second semester, they'll surely appreciate.
Okay. I have a small confession to make, ma'am. Please don't get me wrong here. I am one of those government educated students, tier 2, all my life was only in a government. And I don't think I was able to form one sentence properly. I was aghast that English is still not leaving me, even in the first year of education of my engineering. When I said English was my Achilles heel, I was finding it very hard. That was one paper which actually reduced my overall total. I'm like, why English? Then second semester turned me around because there was a public speaking. There a lot of encouragement from fellow students from across different countries, and you end up speaking in English. So I mean, it was phenomenal. See how much change knowing the language makes
a lot of difference, Gayatri. Gayatri, but now compared to your period of study and present education or present kids, we call them at 2K kids now, they have the social peer pressure to come out that they're not good in English. So last 2 years, we are getting around 15 to 16 students from government schools. Nearly still in third, one girl, she's in third year. How many times I've told her, I've given her presentation the second semester, third semester. Still, no, she has improved a little, but coming out to me for help or coming out, I said, okay, if you find difficult with me as a teacher, if you find difficult to come and talk to me, I've told them they can come to the lab, but they're not coming, Gayatri. During our period, no, we used to grasp the opportunity. But now, because of the social pressure, students are not ready to take up the opportunity available. But indirectly, our institute is doing. We have a club called Enrich. So it will not come to the teachers level. Students itself, they're taking care. They are doing. I hope scenario will improve.
Yeah, absolutely, ma'am. In fact, I remember Step Trek as a club when I was in college. It helped me to think that I can be an entrepreneur, and the debate clubs, and ensuring that, one can just a normal forum when you have to speak with another student who doesn't know Tamil. You have to push yourself outside the comfort zone. And thankfully, the students were actually laughing or anything, saying it's all right. They were able to understand and to some extent, improve ourselves. I do think that it's phenomenal that you're able to do this kind of a self-assessment. And I mean, if you have to think about, a few advices that you would give for students or today's engineers, what will they be, ma'am?
The one thing that I'll tell is they should be very clear about what they want to do. Most of them are not with their clear goals now. Maybe because, like when we were doing our schooling, as I've told you, nobody in my home, I was the fourth in my family, nobody used to tell us what we should do. If somebody would have told us, we should have done better. Even my dad, who was with PWD, he didn't tell us that we should do this, we should do that, nothing like that. But now, as the parents were behind and trying to push them something in their mind, even when they are in the first year, they're not very clear about what they want to do. So first of all, they should be clear about what they want to achieve in their life. At least if they thought that they should become a musician, but they are being forced by the parents, they are landed up in NIT Trichy, but still they have landed here. So God has given them something. So they have to perceive this, keep focusing on getting the degree. Then after leaving the degree, they can pursue their higher education on whatever the passion they have. Because I'm really worried about this, Gayatri. Even now, when I was looking into my list of graduates, I could find one student his name was not there in the list. He has taken my second semester, third semester courses. So I was inquiring about him, and as he has not cleared all the courses, he has discontinued the course. And second, one guy who has already almost completed, but only final year he was not here, he's discontinuing his course against the will of the parent in the third year. I'm really worried about it. And last month, I had two students. One student from Andhra who has got admissions in computer science, but he was not able to compete, and he had so many redos. So what he was telling me is he wants to discontinue the course here at NIT Trichy, computer science branch, and he wants to take up the entrance examination of Andhra and join a government college at Andhra near his residence and complete his BTech exams. So last year I have seen 3 cases like this, coming the third year or in the final year, leaving the course. See, I personally feel that even 1% of students who are entering NIT Trichy should not lose their opportunity, because almost every one of them, they have missed few marks for IITs and they are into our institute. So I feel that even if they have some other, that will be my first advice. Even if you have some passion in your mind, you can pursue a passion only if you do good what you're doing at present. So I'll tell them to do well their goals, and I'll also tell them to develop the technical skill. See, presently everybody thinks that if they are good in programming or AI and ML and DL, they can get jobs and they can go do well in their profession. It is not so. So we have to be good in our branch of study. Core is very much essential. So I'll tell them to be skilled in whatever the field in which they are graduating. And I'll encourage them to do networking, which is very much essential in the present scenario, or present world. Networking is very, very much important. And finally, I'll tell them health is the most important thing in the world in the present scenario. I used to read a lot about biomedical because of my own interest, and I do want to do research. 3 of my graduates have already completed their PhD in biomedical, and 4th one is pursuing. So I read a lot. So last year I read an article that in the coming years, our life expectation is at least 80 for us, for our generation. So I have read an article that in the coming years, we'll be seeing our children, our grandchildren dying with cancer will be prevailingly increasing. The percentage will increase a lot, maybe due to gene degradation, food habits, environmental pollution, etc. So one of the important aspects they have to take, all the youngsters have to take is, they have to take care of their health. And work-life balance. Yesterday you might have heard, no, completely it is required. There was one news in Andhra that around 20 youngsters have died within few days out of heart attack. All youngsters. Yesterday it was news.
Okay.
And that politicians were focusing on that it may be due to vaccination for corona. It is that, but that's not the only reason. Only comorbidity increases the side effects of our vaccination. Nobody bothers about the health present youngsters. So I will insist on health is first than anything.
Yeah.
Wealth without health is zero. So work-life balance have to be taken up properly, whether they are in the institute or whether they are in the job. This will be my sincere advice to all my youngsters, because I'm really worried, Gayatri, looking into my family and my students every day, because we are in touch with students always, no?
Yeah.
So this gives me a lot of worry because nobody takes healthy food. That's one of the important things.
Healthy
That will
food
be my
also, I think, some extent, this fast-paced world, everybody equates itself to a fast food kind of a culture. And another thing, what you mentioned is the longevity of life. In fact, one of the stellar books that I read last year is around 100-year life. Talks about how everybody has to keep skilling themselves multiple times. Only then you can stay in the world where you can keep on skilling yourself and keep moving careers, if you will. Because some of the careers which were available, for example, some of the careers which were available purely as data entry operator kind of a person. Now all the systems talk to each other. So APIs are there, and pretty much the only time you enter the information is done by the consumer themselves. It's like that. There are lots of roles that are changing. For example, imagine a data scientist or even a data transformer. Energy transformer is a new term that are being used. Energy scientists are, so new roles are being formed. For that, skilling has to be done. In fact, that is one of the things that I was telling. If it's only 8 weeks for gaining a PhD in person and the rest of it is going to be hard work, remote work, I think I would strongly suggest our listeners to gain a degree, gain a skill, and then it all skill. Exactly. And what you said is very true in terms of health. If you don't have your health, and if you don't keep your pursue your passion. Yeah, your passion could be your second career also. First career could be the current one, and then passion could be the second career.
That's what I used to tell them. See, first we have to, so only when we are able to do what we are doing at present best, we can achieve our passion. Otherwise it will be very difficult. We'll lose our confidence. If we don't do well when we are in the institute to get a degree, we'll not be able to pursue our passion. Exceptional will be always there. Everybody cannot be exceptional, no. See, one of my senior colleagues used to say, see, NIT, Sachin Tendulkar is not even 10th pass, but he is the big bad cricketer. Exceptional cases will always be there. But all of us cannot be exceptional. So we have to do what we are doing best. Then we can pursue our passion.
Absolutely, ma'am. I think that's really the key in terms of ensuring that people follow through on their commitments and
Correct.
getting, if somebody doesn't want a seat in a particular college, it's not a bad idea to withdraw within a month. Rather than
Correct.
doing it third year or fourth year.
Third year and final year, why they are pressurizing themselves, and also like institute, no, I'm worried. Why should we lose it? Why? I'm worried about their parents. How much of dream they would have had, no? They would, no youngsters sings about the people at family, but that should be please clearly put up in the mind of the youngsters.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just realizing it's already 45 minutes since we started.
Yeah, Gayatri, I was also looking at the time, Gayatri.
It has been such a wonderful conversation, ma'am. And I loved your career journey in terms of starting as a lecturer and founding lecturers also. I have never heard of this term. It's the first time. And also the way you actually created your own space in instrumentation and created a group of advisors around you who can help you catapult your journey and continue to be the source of positive strength for alumni like us and staying in touch with all of us. I think that's very, very crucial, ma'am. And I loved your, advice around staying true to your passion after you finish it and completing what you're doing it today rather than jumping ahead and staying with the core and taking care of your health. I love your assessment. I will share this assessment to anybody whom I meet. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. I appreciate it and hope all the people are listening and taking all the nuggets from you.
Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you for the opportunity. So we'll work together, Gayatri, to make our place better than what is now at present.
Definitely.
So our honors, which connects us, NIT.
Yeah.
NIT. See, I feel very proud that I'm being a girl of the soil, an alumni, faculty, and now taking care of alumni relations. Really, I feel a lot. I owe a lot to our institute. So with all your support, we should take our institute to the next level in the international scenario. Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye. Yeah.
We thank Siddharth for the music and Anita for promoting the Software People stories.
If you like this episode,
Please subscribe on your favorite podcast client.
And spread the word in your network.
if you'd like to share your story,
Contact us at podcasts@pm-powerconsulting.com.